Finally back at St. James's Park, and this game against Wolves just feels like quite a big game. I didn't think I'd be saying that. There's a lot of doom and gloom around Newcastle at the moment, despite the fact we've been in the cup final and we're in the top six. But I get it, we haven't won a game for a while, so we're going to be looking ahead to Wolves on Sunday at St. James's Park, which, to be honest, does feel like quite a big one. Make sure you stick around, 'cause it's coming up. Welcome back to Black White Banter, you absolutely lovely Newcastle fans, whether you are a subscriber or you're not. If you are, or if you're not, whack that like button now. Doesn't do you any harm at all, takes you a second, goes a long way for me to make these videos worth it. So even if you don't like my opinion, just do that for us. Go on, be a lad or a lass. And if you like my opinion by the end of this video, whack that subscribe button. That goes a long way as well. Black and White Banter are all over social media, like big time. Video edits, comedy posts, blog posts, you name it. It's booming, booming, booming. So get Black and White Banter on social media. I haven't done a match preview for a couple of weeks, but here I am because it's Wolves, it's St. James's Park, it's Sunday 4:30. I absolutely hate Sunday 4:30 games. You know, Sunday's a nice day to chill. You don't get back in the house till late on a Sunday. It's just, blech. But hey, I'm glad to be back at St. James's Park. And as I said at the start of this video, this feels like quite a big game. And if you'd asked me 4, 5, 6 weeks ago whether I thought that would be the case coming into Wolves, I would have been confused. But I get it. Now, I'm not on the side of the fence of doom and gloom, and I feel like the last 2 weeks since the cup final have been very subdued in Newcastle, on social media, in the city. I don't know, and I get it. I think it's because we've started to drop off. Expectations of fans, whether they want to admit it or not, have changed. We can't score, so we've almost missed that feeling as Newcastle fans of celebrating with just jubilantly going mental. And that Man City game on Saturday was frustrating. I thought we played really well. I was probably one of the only positive people coming out of that video because I thought there was more positives than negatives. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But as I record this video, with Liverpool losing to Bournemouth, they're back after that 7-0 win against Man United. No, they're not. They're not at all. This game now has a lot more emphasis on it. Tottenham have won against Nottingham Forest, unfortunately. So we are a little bit away from them, but we have 3 games in hand, including this one on Spurs, and we still have Spurs to play at home as well. And I think we could beat Spurs. I watched them in the Champions League midweek. Absolutely shite. So because of that Liverpool result, this one is bigger, but I also think after so many big games recently, Man United in the cup final, Liverpool at home, Man City away, to get a result and just get back to winning ways after so long now. You know, you think back to the draws against Bournemouth, the draw against West Ham. It's been a while since we've got 3 points on the board and we've cheered the boys at the full time. And it needs to come on Sunday. It really, really does. We cannot not be winning matches like Wolves at home. Now, Wolves are no mugs. They've been a little bit indifferent results-wise. You know, they won last week against Tottenham. They've had mixed results. They've played Liverpool a couple of times lately. They've kind of won one, lost one. So they aren't in great form. They do pose a threat. Certainly, I'm not going to deny that. But we've got to be putting them away. And the only way, in my opinion, we are going to do that is by making changes. I think Eddie Howe now, I will be gobsmacked if that team sheet comes in on Sunday afternoon and it's the same team with Wilson, with Almiron. I really hope it's not. I'm not going to sit here and doubt Eddie Howe. I thought Eddie Howe on Saturday got things right to a degree, because if we put our chances away, we would have won the game. Longstaff, Gordon when he missed his kick, Joe Linton, Wilson. Yes, I know people say if Isak was in the team, he might have scored that. If Isak was in the team, he might not have even been in that position to get it. Who knows? He might have been the guy running down the line. So that's, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I don't think Howe got too much wrong on Saturday because we played well. If we played terribly, them changes he made to the team would have been in question. But I think we cannot hit a barn door at the moment, and that doesn't change overnight. I think Howe will become apparent. That doesn't change overnight. And the changes I would like to see going into this match, yes, most of the team picks itself. Your goalkeeper, your fullback. I've already done a video on Fabian Schär being replaced by Lascelles. Not a chance on this earth should Jamal Lascelles be coming in because he's had one decent game in a 2-0 defeat against Man City. Fabian Schär has been a foundation of everything we have done this season that has been fantastic. Him and Botman have created one of the best defences in the league. So check out my video on that opinion that's gone over social media this week. No chance. Dan Burn has to come out for me just to see how that works. It's Wolves at home. It's not... It is a big game, but I just think Dan Burn is going to be up against pacey players. Now, Traore, the baby-oiled player that he is, he's not great in terms of his final product. He'd be playing for a better team. He went to Barcelona and that didn't work out, and they signed fucking everyone now, don't they? He's not a great final product, but he's got absolutely electric pace. He scored the winner against Tottenham last week. Dan Burn's going to have a nightmare against him. I'm not saying Matt Targett is a cheater on that left-hand side, but he's a natural left-back, and Dan Burn just needs a breath. I think it can give players that shock factor and get them playing well again by making changes. And we've had the same squad now, same starting 11 for so long. I think it wouldn't do our squad a bad job at all to make changes. Now we've got all players pretty much back from injuries and whatnot. So Targett has to come in. I've missed him. I've missed a natural left-back down that side, even for support further up the field. Dan Burn doesn't offer much of that. So that's the first change I would make. Joe Linton's obviously suspended, which is devastating for this game and the next game. He's going to be a huge loss tomorrow. So I think Joe Willock has to come in. I'm a big fan of Willock. His box-to-box approach. We still haven't seen the Willock that we saw under Steve Bruce, in my opinion, unfortunately, at the other end of the pitch, goal-scoring goals. But I think Willock comes in for me in that regard. So you'd go Longstaff, Bruno and Willock, which has done us no wrong over this season, has it? That's a foundation of a team that's got us to where we are. Almiron has to come out. He really, really does. I'm sorry. Since his purple patch was over, which we knew was always going to happen, was his purple patch a Pape Cisse kind of run when he first signed for us, and then he went pretty bang average after that? I think it could be. I hope I'm wrong. He's full of graft. We know that. He's full of endeavour. He's got nice little touches here and there, give and goes. But generally speaking, we've seen the Almiron for the last 2 months of old. And he's got away with doing very little under radars of pundits, fans, on social media, in my opinion. And that can't go on much longer. I would actually like to see against Wolves, St. Maximin on the right-hand side, which he's played there effectively. We know what foot he is. He's played there effectively for us in the past, and I would go with Gordon on the other side. Gordon didn't do much against Man City. He's still raw. It was his first start, and it's not the easiest match to make your first start in. But £45 million is a lot of money, and he needs to start playing for us. And he has contributed in that Everton team to a lot over the last couple of years. Maybe not so much recently, but we know there's a player in there, and Howe obviously thinks so. He has to start for me. And then I'm going to go with the majority. Isak has to play. Callum Wilson needs a rest. I know he's talked this week a good game about how he knows he's responsible for missing chances and it only makes him more determined. Great. Come on as a substitute and bang in 2 in the 60th, from the 60th minute onwards. Isak is making an impact every time he plays. So I would go for a Maxi, Isak, Gordon front 3. And if it doesn't work, make changes. You've got Murphy. If Maximin doesn't start the game, well, I tell you what, Jacob Murphy loves to put a ball in. He did it so well against Man City on Saturday when he came on. Yes, you can argue till he blew in the face that he hasn't got the quality of some of the other players in the squad. But I tell you what, Jacob Murphy at the moment goes above Almiron in terms of who I would play, genuinely, because Almiron is contributing nothing. And Jacob Murphy is having more of an effect with good quality balls in and creating things in 5, 15, 20-minute spells than what Almiron's had in the whole game in recent weeks. So there's an argument there for Murphy to maybe come in as well. Eddie Howe's got some decisions to make. But for me, that would be my starting lineup. And yeah, do I think we're going to win against Wolves? I do. And I cannot wait for that negativity to sort of be distinguished. I'm not saying it's terrible. God, we still love every moment of this season and this new project that we find ourselves in, but things have dropped off. And I guess that happens when you're not scoring goals and you slip down the table. We've been in the Champions League places now for most of the season. I don't expect us to get Champions League, and I've never said I do. I think where we are now is about right, maybe even one place lower, based off our squad depth and squad quality that we still need to add to. But it is disappointing to suddenly drop. And that's why what makes this Wolves game even bigger. We've got Nottingham Forest next Friday, another big one. but let's get 3 points back on the board and go above Liverpool, which would be nice after their result today. So I am confident I'm going to go for a Newcastle 2-0 win. I'm going to back us to keep a clean sheet for the first time in a while, because that defence needs to get back to what we were doing as well at the other end. Hopefully I see my target in that defence. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I am going to the game. There will be a match vlog coming, so make sure you whack that subscribe, Newcastle fans, because the fan interviews, you name it, will be coming on a cold afternoon, no doubt, at St. James's Park. Hopefully after I've smashed a lovely Sunday dinner in. That'll be nice before the game. So make sure you whack that subscribe. Let us know your thoughts for the game. What changes would you make? What do you think the score's going to be? And I'll see you on that match vlog tomorrow afternoon. However, lads...